The show starts in 3, 2, 1. Let's rock.
Good evening, my people up in the chandeliers. The wine and dining, the menu is blood, sweat, and tears. Everybody ready, raining down confetti. Champions are born right now. Ain't about the glamour, click goes the hammer. Run when you hear that sound. Heroes never die, gonna make it to the finish line. We know we survive, even if we crawl to the finish line.
Play 1, 2, 3.
Hey, this is Bobo,
And this is Warrior.
and this is the Reshaping the Mold podcast.
Today's video is talk about the new system, and it's because the old system that we had before, school, college, job, doesn't work as good as it did for our past generations. Like back in the day, you used to be able to go to school, go to college, and get a good job with no experience. And you used to be able to make a good living doing that. And it's how our parents bought their houses. It's how they succeed. Words. It's how they became successful. It's how they did those things. But for some reason now in the current day world, that system is not working. Is why are these people struggling? Why are we having this issue of where college kids with degrees are failing in life when before that was the key to success? You went to a good college, you had good grades,
One
you
of
got a good job.
the
That was the roadmap for
the
decades, and now it's
one of
just
the main
not working.
things, the reason that college kids are not able to find jobs that easily, because jobs nowadays, even entry level jobs, require so much experience. 5 years of experience for an entry level job. It's not a experienced position I'm looking for. It's an entry level job where you teach me what I need to know to be able to do the job, not where I need experience.
Yeah, and
It's an
employers are not looking for someone that doesn't know what the heck they're doing. They're looking for someone that they don't have to train, and that's not what the world should be. In
which is why
reality,
I don't. So the thing with jobs these days, you can't expect the new generation to know what the heck they're doing. You got to teach them. Someone's got to teach them, or the world's just gonna go to shit. Like it's not gonna
yeah,
work.
entirely. It's gonna go to absolute shit.
And like yeah, I don't know. It's just I look at all these things on LinkedIn and Glassdoor and Indeed, and I just look at all this stuff, and it just baffles me how you
But
can't
yeah,
get
they
a
still
job.
require a college degree and they still want you to get a college degree to apply for that position, but they also want 5 years of experience. So you're telling me why you want me to be a full-time college student pursuing the degree that you want me to do. You also want me to have
Oh,
a job that I don't have that I don't
and
qualify for.
if you have 10 plus years of experience, companies won't hire you because they know they have to pay you more because of your experience.
That's also true. I've heard that's like a thing now too.
No, it is a thing. I've seen people get denied from freaking GM positions, like freaking offices, other stuff, just because they have a lot of experience and the companies don't want to pay that salary that they want because they know that because they have experience, they're gonna have to pay them if they want them.
Yeah, because they can negotiate their pay because you're not going to find someone that's experienced. These companies are taking advantage of us, basically, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the world taking advantage of us when before our ancestors, our parents, were able to get a good job with a sustainable income and able to have a single household income. The American dream is shattered. We used to be able to have one single income, the father, and be able to live off just that while the mother stayed home and took care of the kids. That used to be the reality of the world. And now that's shattered.
Now, now you have whole families having six, whole incomes and can't even get a house. Six
Correct. Like there's
incomes. It takes six people with the incomes that most people have these days, like 30,000 a year, times that by six, that's 180,000. It'll take you 3 years to be able to get the same amount as a house.
yeah,
That's
which is insane.
whenever it used to be 50 to $100,000 for a house. Now
Yeah,
it's
it
upwards
was,
of 500 to
and
seven
that's
hundred
for a
dollars.
two bedroom. Like my grandma sold her house in Idaho, and this was a three bedroom, two bath, small house, and she bought it for 100K, and she sold it for upwards of 400K, and she had done no renovations to it at all. It had stayed the
Like
exact same.
it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't, and you could blame it on inflation, and you could blame it on that, and it probably is that. But it's also the people that were choosing to be leaders, and I don't want to get into politics because politics is an interesting subject,
Oh, I don't
and it's
like politics.
very debatable. But we need to focus on doing what we need to do to be successful, because this shit of the world basically crippling under other people's feet because they want to raise prices and stuff, it can't happen anymore. We can't be the generation, we can't be the world who just breaks under the system. That's why we need to form a new system to where we can succeed and are built for success. We need to form a system that is built on success, that is built on keys that are built for success. And that's what we're trying to do with this new topic and this new system of, and I'll introduce you to the new system. I can't pronounce the acronym, so it's a weird spelling, but basically it contains these five main core things. And it's basically, so when you're in high school to pre-K, basically, you should be, well, basically pre-K to eighth grade, you should be focusing on school, getting good grades, stuff like that, the normal stuff. When you get to high school, you should be widening your horizons, looking into careers, figuring out what you want to do with your life. If you're in high school right now, I want you to grab a piece of paper, write this down. What do I want to be when whatever, when I graduate, when I get older? Like, what do I want to do with my life? And figure that out. Write it down if you have
Like
to.
for me, I honestly, I got high all through high school. I didn't really figure out what I wanted to do, really. I mean, I kind of had a cusp of what I wanted to do, but even I'm 2 years out of high school and I still haven't really made any progress towards it.
Yeah, like me and Bubba wanted to be rich together. We wanted to live together. We wanted to have a apartment and be best friends for life and live the
Well, I
dream
mean,
of,
life is something that you don't need an apartment for.
yeah. I mean, we wanted to be successful together. And we're starting to get towards that goal. But like if we would have started years ago, and you can blame it on our situations. We had both me and Bubba had interesting situations that kind of stopped us from doing what we
And
needed to do.
talk about those situations because they aren't relevant.
Yeah, they're not the situation that we had isn't relevant. It's not relevant to what we're talking about at all.
Not
What's
it's not
relevant?
relevant to do in the future.
Yeah,
Past is the past, and it should be the past.
exactly. My main issue is that nothing's changing. I'm not seeing any progress being made in the world by anyone. Like we had Andrew Tate come up in the world, and I saw people start to be able to retire their parents and be able to actually have make a living off of one person. And it looked like stuff was starting to change around, but then out of nowhere, we just went back to where we started. Like the world started to change, but then people started to get in people's heads, and we went back to where we started. We were starting to mold a new system and break the mold,
Well,
and then
anytime tries to create a new system, you have the former system, which has over 100 years of development that will target you, make you a bad person for trying out a new system, and then
Exactly. Yeah. Like Andrew Tate was trying to break the mold. He was trying to help us, and we laughed at him and destroyed him and canceled him because we thought he was
I
being fake.
I was one of the few people that didn't actually laugh at him. I love Andrew Tate.
And he
He was
walked
a very
away because he realized that the world isn't ready to be successful for some reason. The world, it's like the world doesn't want to be successful. You guys, people talk like they want to be successful, but are they doing the right steps to be successful? No, they're not. They're doing what everybody else is doing. They're following this system that's been around for decades, that's wrong, and that we shouldn't be following because why would we follow a system that's been around for decades that only worked for that decade, basically? I mean, look at the statistics. Look at Gen X and baby boomers and movers. They had more income. They had better jobs than we do. They had less price for everything. Everything was cheaper back then, and they were able to make a living off of just 40K a year. And now to make a living, you need at least like 70 to 80K a year. And that's just to make a living by yourself. That's not including family.
and that's honestly dumb.
And it's stupid that the world has came to that. And I can say we could blame it on ourselves, and it's honestly halfway true, because people have been doing stupid things and making stupid decisions for a long time. And I don't want to blame it on ourselves, but honestly, who else is there to blame? Are we doing the things we need to do to be successful? No, we're not. I mean, we're doing what everybody else was doing. That's what we're doing. We're going to school, we're going to college, and we're trying to get a job, but we're failing because we're not doing anything different. We're doing the exact same thing everybody else is doing, and we're failing because of it. So we
Yeah,
need to mold a new system to where we can be successful in what we do, no matter
and
what it
yeah,
is.
it's gonna take time, but with everything that you do, it takes time. You got to take the first step to better
And
yourself,
that's where
and
and that's where the next step of this system takes us in this new system that we've been building together. And the next step is passion, finding out what you're passionate about so you can do good at whatever you're doing. Because passion leads to motivation, and motivation leads to success. If you ask any successful person, I can assure you they're probably passionate about what they do and motivated to keep doing it. Almost
oh
guarantee you.
yeah,
Like
definitely. I
I'll
look at
I'll
people.
reference someone. I
You
can
you
almost
not,
guarantee you.
you cannot do any. You can do stuff without motive, without passion and motivation. But at the end of the line, you don't have those two things, then you are gonna get burned out very fast, and you are gonna just
Well,
not
we talked
succeed. And
about
what?
how to motivate yourself last episode, but I want to go into that a little more. It's like it's not just motivation, it's passion. You need to find something you like to do and do it. And I'm tired of people saying that you need to be fully dependent on your income, and no matter what you do, no matter what you want to do, you need to make sure you're making enough money to live. And yes, that is true, but you also need to be able to find something that you want to do so that you can have a good time living. Because what's the point of living if you're doing a job you hate? I don't like this whole 9 to 5 crap. It's
Oh, I hate the five. So
it's
with
not
me,
what this world should have been built on. This
I
system,
go
this old system was
for
built on 9 to 5 cubicle desk jobs that people despise.
So for me, what was going on in my 9 to 5 is I'm going there. I'm working 8, 9, maybe 10 hours, and then I come home, and for for 1/3 of my day, I'm working. I'm getting exhausted, and I come home for the second third of my day. I'm sleeping or barely even able to do anything because I'm just tired from work. And then the third part of my day is just me freaking. It's nighttime, so you can't do anything. The only thing you can do during the night is freaking DoorDash, and not a lot of people DoorDash during the night. So you're just wasting gas and doing all this stuff that's not necessary. You have no time
Yeah,
if you're working in.
and that's the trap it puts you in. Like the 9 to 5s put you in this secure spot where you're making money. You're doing enough where you can eat and you can drink and you can have fun doing stuff and still be successful in your own little world. But in reality, you're in the same spot you were before. The only difference is you have money in your bank account.
Barely
You're
any
s-
money. You have just
you're
enough money to be live, not
yeah, basically.
comfortably live, like literally exist.
Yeah. That's what these 9 to 5s are doing to it. And then they're trapping us in this world where we think we're safe and we think we're going to be good. And then they give us some random thing of it's whether it's a bill or some random expense that should have not happened and it kills us entirely.
Yeah, and with my 9 to 5, sure, there's things wrong with me, but I refuse to go to a hospital because it will literally set me back to the beginning. I'm not going to the hospital and paying these outstanding fees for something that I I can't afford.
Yeah, it's
They don't,
pointless. And I
and they
hate
say
the reality of
benefits,
what's
but
happening.
my 9 to 5 job, if you're not a full time employee, they don't give you any health benefits. They don't give you any of the actual benefits. The only people that get benefits are the managers because all the regular employees, instead of putting them on as full time employees like they said they hired me on to be, they put me as a part time employee, which makes it so that the GM gets a bigger boost in her bonus. She basically does stuff to make sure that she gets more money, and she only cares about her job. Whenever I had some things going on, I got written up for calling out, but whenever she has things going on, she doesn't get written up. She doesn't get any consequences. She's always showing up late. I've been on time for the last 9 months almost. She's late almost every day. She never gets any consequences just because she's the GM. She can do what she wants. But me, if I do one wrong thing, I'm out of a job.
And it's horrible that the world that is what the world has changed and turned into, and I hate it because it's
Like
not
the
what it
thing is,
was before. Like we
all
were able to have
all
so
these
much.
people that roles of power, they're all friends with each other. So even if someone like me, who is working their ass off 40 hours a week, 40 plus hours a week, they take my overtime hours as well. They take my overtime hours. But all these people are friends and stuff, and you making a complaint against them instead of actually doing something with a complaint to make the workplace better, they will band together and get you fired, saying that, oh, we just don't want to deal with that type of stuff in the workplace. You were a liability. We don't need that type of energy in our workplace. It also has a lot. This stuff needs to stop. They they
It's
move so they move so much, yet they want so much more, and they already have everything that
exactly,
like.
and it's like before you
Eh,
were able to get a job, no experience, just got out of college, and it was easy. Like my mom, she got out of college and she went into the military and she had a good job. And I'm not saying going to the military is your answer, but I mean it's a it's a good option, but it's not an answer
Like
to our
what?
issue. But like, I'll give you an example. My sister is out of college right now, and she is working. She's working on getting an internship for Delta, and she's basically having to work unpaid and do an internship so she can get the right years amount of experience so she can start getting paid, which is stupid because she got the schooling to do these things. She should already be getting paid. When before it was back in the 50s, there was no such thing as internships. That wasn't a thing. You started getting
There,
paid day one, and that was your paycheck. And if you did well, they paid you more. That's how it was. That's how it's always been. And for some reason now the world has says no, you need 5 years of experience of a field that you didn't even know you wanted to do yet. So what you want me to work from when I'm 14 at a field that I'm not even trained to do yet? It's
it's
the
dumb.
world is built for people that are upwards of 30 to 40 years old. That's what the world is built on. It's built on that system of where they want you to work your butt off for 30 to 40 years just to get a sustainable job when before we were able to barely have to worry about it too much. Like you could go to
And
college and get a job.
I don't spend 50 years of my life working my ass off just to not have anything.
Yeah, it's horrible. Well, why should we have to like
Why?
this isn't us just
Why?
not wanting to work. This is just the world and it as it is.
Because
I'm gonna die.
I honestly don't mind working. I really don't.
Neither do I, but I shouldn't have to. I'm gonna TPD you. I shouldn't have to
I,
work my butt off to get basic necessities and then wait 30 years just to get a decent job. Like
it's dumb.
I can mention someone here and he doesn't watch these videos so he probably never know about if I mentioned him. But like my boss had a kid at 19 and he was working at an entry level job at like Waffle House I think and he just did the grind and went up through management and eventually got hired at Costco and is now a manager at Costco. And now he's making a good living. But when he was 19, yeah, he didn't have a college degree. He didn't go to college and he just had a high school diploma and he did all these things. But it only took him, what, 8 years? Because he's 28. It only took him 8 years to get to that point. 8 years, which isn't actually horrible. He doesn't even have a
Isn't
college degree.
dude? I would go work for 8 years if that meant I could be successful after 8 years. But
It
no,
depends
I'm gonna
on,
have to unless
but that's
unless
not
I figure out unless we
how,
figure out be able to do something. I'm gonna be having to work the rest of my life, and I'm barely gonna have anything by the time I retire. At the rate this is
like, I
going,
want you to, I'll give another example. Look at your teachers if you're in school. Look at your teachers. They're doing something they're passionate about and they love doing it. And they had to go to college to do that. And they had to get a job. And teachers are fairly, teachers is an entry level position, it's not a hard position. You'll get paid a decent amount.
one thing, one thing that I agree with Andrew Tate. One of the main things is don't ever listen to advice from people who are driving or making the same amount of money as you are. Go and look
Yeah.
for successful because they have done what you're trying to do. Go get mentorships from them. Go do anything you can to learn from them. Because if you're listening to, let's say, a finance person who's driving a car that's worse than yours, why are they in finance? They obviously didn't succeed in that area of life.
I really do say, and we talked about this a little bit last episode with the mentors. if you have a mentor in your life, you have someone to learn from. You have someone that you can say, hey, he's doing this, maybe I can do that same thing and make money. Like, I've had several mentors in my life, and the mentors that I had led me to be able to find my career and what I want to do in life. And if without those mentors, I probably would have never found my passion of what I want to do with my life and how I want to be successful. I would have never been able to start this podcast. I would have never been able to figure out what I want to do with my life. I would have never been able to do any of that stuff. I would have been working my butt off, probably going into the Navy because my parents wanted me to, because that's what my parents wanted me to do. I wouldn't be doing what I wanted to be doing. I'd be going to a job that I hate and barely making what I need to make to live.
Yeah, like Warrior gets paid more than me, and he's starting as he's starting to take on more bills and stuff. He's starting to learn how hard it is to live,
Yeah, like
how
I'm getting
difficult it.
more and more bills, like because my insurance is billing me random crap. Like I get paid more than Bobo, sure, but at the end of the day, I'm also getting billed more than he is on other stuff too. So like it seems like the more money you make, the more bills that pop up, and it's because we're in this position. I've
And
heard of this. We're
there's
in this
certain
position of the more money
so
you make, the more money you want to spend for some
and
reason.
well, for some people, for me, I like to save every single penny possible. I'm one of those type of people because
Right.
I just go and spend my entire check on something, I might not have the money for a bill that pops up. I might not have anything because, like, I don't live with my family. I don't get help from friends or anything. I don't get help from anyone. I am me, myself, and I. I don't have anyone to help me.
Right. And
So,
like, okay, so I have the job I work at, I could turn into a career if I want to. I work at a retail company that's very successful. And if I wanted to, I could do the training and turn it into a career. And I don't have a degree. I barely have a high school diploma. That tells you that I'm doing something right. You wanna know how I got that job? I walked into that interview room passionate, knowledgeable, and motivated. I showed that interview that I was passionate about this job and that I wanted the position and that I was going to motivate myself to be good at the job. And he hired me on the spot. I impressed them because I was passionate, I was motivated, and I showed them how I was going to do it and how quickly I was going to do it. And I've been in that job for a year now. And if I wanted to, I could turn it into something amazing and I could make a career out of it. But I don't want to because it's not the position I want to be in. I want to go into the military and do other stuff. But if I wanted to, I could make this job a career. I could go do supervisor training and make 30K, make $30 an hour and be set for life and not even have to work.
but for me, if I even try to move up, I just get denied. I haven't even gotten the promotion that I was promised. Like the pay raise I was promised at 6 months, they still haven't given it to me, even though I've asked multiple times. They give all the managers pay raises, promotions, but whenever it comes to regular workers like me, if I want even like a 50 cent to a dollar pay raise, no, we don't have the funds to do that when I know that they definitely do because I work for a multi-billion-dollar company. They have the funds,
Yeah.
and I'm in the employee area. I am one of the most senior employees that they have right now. I'm training employees. I'm doing multiple jobs at once. Like, I don't want to be doing three jobs if I'm not getting paid three times the amount.
Like if you're
Because,
training an employee, you should be getting paid as a trainer. You should be getting a higher pay than that employee. Because you're making the same amount as that employee and you're training them.
yeah, which is why whenever they put me to train them, I don't even, at this point, I don't even train them anymore. I just let them watch me. They can watch me if they choose to pick up on what I'm doing, then that's them. But I'm not going to exert myself more than I already do for the same pay because it's just more exhausting for me. If I was doing that, I wouldn't even be talking here today. I'd still be sleeping and about probably going to be going back into work to train someone else for the
Yeah,
same
it's
amount of.
it's it's horrible. Because like, for example, I'll give a like me and Bobo have very different jobs, but they're in the same field, sales. But for some
Yeah,
reason, I'm in a position where I can make a career, and he's in a position where he is basically in a rut where he can't get out of. And it's not because of his background, because he could very well do what he needed to do. I'm not gonna talk. It's just the world has changed into this place where you're in an entry level position, you're stuck there, and you're forced to do whatever your boss tells you to do, even though he's probably telling you to do a job that would be getting paid more to do if you went to another company that did the same thing.
like I got paid to make food. I got paid for that. I didn't get paid to make do the job of three people making food. I got paid to stay at one station and make food.
Yeah,
That's what I got paid. They're moving me all over the store. I'm doing prep food, fryers, I'm doing cashier, I'm doing drive through, I'm doing literally everything. And I'm getting paid the same amount and I'm getting written up because I'm not fast enough. How do you expect me to be fast enough when I'm doing like three people's jobs, four people's jobs? You can't expect one person to be able to do everything. It's
you
not
can't.
possible.
It's not because it doesn't make sense. Because life is not working your butt. Because like back in the day, you used to be able to get a good job out of college, and in 4 years' time, you were making 40 to 50K a year. Nowadays, you get out of college, and in 4 years'
You can,
time, you're making the same amount you were making 4 years ago.
you can work in a job for 20 years and you can possibly maybe get let's see, maybe a 50 cent raise. That's about the rate that it's going, I'm guessing,
Like this,
which is
this
not
this
worth.
system is built on older people. This system is built on people who have been living in this system for decades. Have you noticed that everyone who's successful is over the age of 50? Have you noticed that? I'm sure us younglings have noticed the fact that everyone that is successful is over the age of
Well, not everyone. There are
30 to
people our age successful, but that's not because they're in these jobs. That's because they're going out and finding their own ways to make this money. They're
exactly.
finding
They're
out
not.
their own successful. They're not stuck
This
at a
old
dead end
system
job.
is built for you to basically do the same job for your whole life, hoping that just maybe your employer will give you a raise, or just maybe you'll get a new position that will pay you better.
But in the end, they won't.
Or in
They
the end, they
ultimately won't.
might, but you'll be getting billed more for something else.
Yeah, you will most likely get fired before you get a better position.
Straight up, straight up. And like I work on a job where I could make a career and I could do well for myself. I could become a supervisor and be a team lead and make upwards of $30 an hour and make a good paycheck and not have to worry too much. But I don't
But
feel
me on
motivated to do that.
the
And I mean,
I
Bobo's
mean,
gotten the same opportunity. You've gotten the opportunity to become a manager. I think you said they've asked you before.
no, that is at a different job that I had that I didn't stay at because of certain circumstances.
Yeah. But like, oh, okay. Well, still, even now, you're in a position where if you really wanted to, you could become the manager.
But even the managers at my job only get like $1 raise to become a manager. That's not worth all the extra work.
Exactly. It's not worth the headache. I'm not saying that we should raise the pay wage for certain jobs because that's just gonna make it all worse. 'Cause that's why we're in this position is because people wanted to raise the minimum wage.
But if the higher ups are only making $1 more than the employee, why go be a higher up doing 10 times the amount of work when you can just stay as the employee making $1 less?
Exactly.
A
I'm
dollar
saying
is,
we should be making the amount of money for the work we're doing. We shouldn't be making it because we're just making it. And I'm tired of these companies taking advantage of us and manipulating us into doing jobs that we aren't getting paid to do. We need to outbranch. We need to find a new way to make money than this stupid system that's been around for decades, that doesn't work anymore, that really just leads to you having a midlife crisis and almost killing yourself. Because you want to know something? The rate of people that are above 40 years old that are having suicidal thoughts has gone up in the past 10 years because of this fucking system. Because people are
and
working
it's
their
not
ass off
out.
until they're 40 years old, hating their job just for a little bit of pay that can barely cover their funds. And they're not doing what they wanted to do. Oh, they would probably love to do a job they actually like, but no. So don't choose the direction everybody else is going. Choose your own direction. Find your passion, motivate yourself to do it, and take the steps to get to that passion, and you'll
Or
be
else
successful.
not going forward.
Like we
You're not
we
going to
can't be
be stuck.
like everybody else. We need to be our own person.
Yeah.
And as we're getting into the last 10 minutes of this video, because we're at 41, 48, impressively. It felt like it went by in seconds. I want to say this. Your friends, your parents, your leaders might tell you that you're being risky by taking these next steps and finding out what you want to do with your life and not following this old system of going to college for no reason and going into debt. Because they think their system works because they in their eyes it's been proven by many people that it works well. But I want you to go into you probably have a rich neighborhood near you. Go into your rich neighborhood, knock on the biggest house, and ask them how did they afford this. And they'll probably tell you, I can almost guarantee you it wasn't by working their butt off for 40 years at a job they hate. Almost guarantee it.
Yeah, but the system is designed for it to work for them and for everyone else to just suffer.
Someone who
The
is
rich get
successful.
richer and the poor get.
Yep, and we need to break that system today. Or not today, but like we need to break that system over the next couple years because it just it's stupid. The fact that we have to work our butts off for barely making a living wage is retarded, utterly retarded. And if you do a job you like, you barely get paid a living wage. For example, teachers are passionate about what they do. They enjoy their position, they enjoy their job. But for some reason, they're barely getting paid a living wage to do something they're passionate about. And they motivated themselves to get to that position to where they could be passionate about what they're doing. And they're getting paid barely a living wage. The world needs to shift because it's tired. The system it's done for. It doesn't work anymore. Clearly because it doesn't matter what job you're working, you're still gonna make barely a living wage. And for jobs that make you a living wage, that make upwards of 100K a year, they're jobs that are shit, that are basically cubicle work and jobs you'll hate. Jobs that you like don't have the income that you need to survive these days, which sucks. Because before you were able to do something you were passionate about and make a living. Before your teachers were able to have a house and an income where they could live and be successful in their own little world. Go ask a teacher that's been a teacher for 40 years. Say, were you successful when you started out? And they're probably going to say yes. They were in a good position. They were able to buy a house and make a good living. But now they're having to cut expenses and possibly almost sell their house because they can't live with the amount of money they make. And it's not just teachers, it's other people too. Like even
Every
people that are like,
profession.
yeah, it's every profession. People that love the profession aren't getting paid enough to love their profession and actually make a living off of it. Like I enjoy my job to a certain point. But that's because I have a different look at my perspective on my job. And I could probably be getting paid a certain amount and make a living out of it, but it's just not what I want to do. 'Cause I don't want to do what everyone else does. I don't want to work for 8 years doing a job I hate just to make a living. It's not what I want to do. And that's what most of us nowadays are realizing. And the old generation is saying we're just waking up. But every millionaire that has a Lamborghini or any cool car doesn't work a job that they hate. They do something they love doing and they have fun doing it. So that's what we need to do. Stop following this old system of just
Yeah, we need to make a new system that will help future generations overcome all the stuff that I don't know how to put it, just like help them in the future. We need to make a system that will hold on for generations, not
and that's what
like
this
this
new
system.
system could do. We like if you do these things, you find out what you're passionate about in high school. You become passionate about it and you motivate yourself to take those steps and you go to college with a plan and you do internships and you figure out that career. I can almost guarantee you'll get hired. Because I'll give you an example. My own brother, he graduated high school a couple of years ago. He went to college for cybersecurity, and he's doing internships, and he's probably going to have a job within the next 3 to 4 years. And he did exactly what he wanted to do. He's doing a job he loves. He motivated himself to get to that point, and he's passionate about what he's doing. And he's going to get paid a good amount. He's getting paid like $40 an hour to do a job he loves. It's because he's not stupid to do what everybody else is doing. He realizes that the old system of just going to school to go to school for education purposes doesn't work anymore. You need to have internships. You need to do things to guarantee your position in the world. If you do those things, you will guarantee yourself a job. People are going to college and just going to college and getting out and then having no job because they didn't do the right things. They didn't take the right steps. And luckily, my brother had
Yeah, and
someone in
then
his life where that told him what to do and how to do it, and that's
with
why
this
he's successful.
this system, if you go too far without taking the right steps, there's ultimately no way to retrace your steps and get on the right path because you've already wasted so much time.
Yeah, this system only works if you take the right steps now. I mean, you can use this system now. You can apply the system now. If you're in a rut and you're stuck doing a job you hate, get out of it. Find a way to start doing a job you love, start expanding your horizons, figuring out what you're passionate about, and take the steps you need to take to figure out how to get to that passion. And also finding someone that's in that career field that you want to be in and that they're successful in that career field, use them as a mentor. Find someone that you like and that is in the field that you want to be in and learn from them. Because that's what I did. I have two mentors in my life. I have my sponsor, which is a teacher, and at one time I wanted to be a teacher, so she should give me advice about how to obtain a teaching degree and how to do these things and what proper steps to take to be successful in that field. So if I wanted to, I could go be a teacher and be successful in doing it probably. And I have another mentor who is a religious minister, and I've taken the steps where I could be a religious minister and get paid upwards of 25 to $20 an hour being a religious minister because I've taken the steps to do those things because I was once passionate about those things. That's all you gotta do. Find the thing you're passionate about, find someone that's in that field, take advice from them, and take the steps you need to do to get to that field, and you will be successful.
But Warrior,
I think that's a good ending point. I think we'll just end it there. My last final words are don't focus on what everybody else is doing. Focus on what you're doing and do what you need to do to be successful. And don't look at success as how much money you make because success isn't based on how much money you make. It's about the life you're living and if you're living a life you want to live, not a life that someone else built for you. That's success. That's the vision. That's
yeah.
the plan. Welcome to the new generation, Generation Gold. I'll see you guys next time.